What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again with the day after. The day after my Alabama Crimson Tide beat those Vanderbilt Commodores and shut Diego Pavia up. Damn right, that's what my Alabama Crimson Tide did. It was a lot of haters out there doubting my Alabama Crimson Tide. Didn't think my Alabama Crimson Tide can pull this off. Didn't think my Alabama Crimson Tide could stop Diego and that Vanderbilt offense. Sure was. Well, guess what? My Alabama Crimson Tide shut you up too. Freaking haters. I ain't gonna get off your ass. You can believe that I told you yesterday. I'm only gonna become more obnoxious when it comes to my Alabama Crimson Tide football program. If you think I was bad in the past, it's finna get worse. You can believe that. But anyway, let's talk about some games from yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I'm only talking about the important games. A lot of these games didn't even matter. Like West Virginia and BYU. You know what I'm saying? Georgia and Kentucky. You know, little games like that. Boise State and Notre Dame, that didn't even matter. Kent State and Oklahoma, boy, Oklahoma beat the shit out of them. They didn't even let Kent State score. But hey, it is what it is. But we had some good games yesterday. Anyway, we can talk about what happened at 12 o'clock. 12 noon, as the number 9 Texas went on the road to face them Florida Gators. I picked Florida to win. I went out on a limb. And guess what? Them Florida Gators totally dominated Texas. I don't care what the daggone score say. I don't care that it was an 8-point victory. Florida Gators dominated them. Yeah, DJ Lagway had the best game of the season. Matter of fact, those Florida Gators had the best game of the season. Sure did. DJ Lagway, 298 yards and 2 touchdowns. This man went 21 of 28. Sure did. Jaden Ball running back, running through that Texas defense for 107 yards. And he added a touchdown. Then you got wide receiver Dallas Wilson. Man, 6 receptions, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Lord have mercy. While Arch Manning out here getting laid on his damn back. Man, that Texas offensive line looked like Auburn offensive line. I mean, they was beating freaking Arch Manning up. Good. I loved every damn minute of it. Anyway, Arch Manning did manage to run for 37 carries. 37 yards on 15 carries. That man is trash. Anyway, he did throw for he did throw for how many yards he threw for? He threw 263 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's good on his part. But guess what was not so good? He threw 2 interceptions. Yep, sure did. Sure did. Arch Manning was also their leading ball carrier or leading rusher with his 37 yards on 15 carries. Straight freaking terrible on the 2.5 yards per carry. Lord have mercy. Steve Sarkisian, what you doing over there? What you doing down in Texas? I just got one question. Is Texas back? That's what I want to know since y'all the We Back program. Boy, I thought Texas was better than this. The media thought Texas was going to be better than this. That's why they had him as the preseason ranked number 1. They thought Arch Manning was going to be better than what he is. That's why they had him as the leading Heisman Trophy candidate. Everything was preseason for them or off season for them. But hey, right now, they hot garbage. But oh well. But I can tell you right now, a lot of people going to still want to give Arch Manning a chance and all this crap. They got every excuse for that guy. But guess what? I ain't got no excuses for him, and I ain't finna try to make no excuses up for him. He trash. But anyway, Deontay Moore and Ryan Wingo, they did their thing. 75 yards for Deontay Moore, and Ryan Wingo had 73 yards and a touchdown. But them guys, they can't showcase their talents with Arch Manning as the quarterback. That's all I know. That's all I know, man. Too much stock went into Arch Manning and these Texas Longhorns in the offseason. Right now, they sitting at 3-2, 0-2. Matter of fact, 0-2 in Power 4 play. Texas then beat up on 3 group of 5 FCS programs, whatever you want to call them, San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. That's who they got wins over. But I can guarantee you they'll probably still keep Texas in the rankings. Why? I don't know. Because Texas is no playoff threat. They give no threat to win the SEC. They still got to face Georgia. They got to face Texas A&M. A couple of more teams that they got to face that they going to lose to. I believe they'll lose to Mississippi State. I believe they'll lose to Vanderbilt. So I think Texas got at least 4 more losses coming to them if they continue to look the way they look now. Texas is hot garbage. But shout out to them Florida Gators. Florida Gators came out, did what they were supposed to do. They sitting at 2-3 right now. So we'll see what they got the rest of the season. Florida's only win coming into this season was against LIU, a team that nobody heard of until they seen them on Florida's schedule. I mean, I think Long Island University, I believe. But Florida got Texas A&M next week. That's a loss, Florida. I just want you to know. Mississippi State the next week, then Georgia the next week. Y'all got a tough slate too, Florida Gators. So I'm glad y'all got this win out the way. And I'm glad y'all was able to beat those Texas Longhorns so they fans can shut the hell up. Come on, man. They thought them going to Ohio State and only losing. I think they only lost by 7 points. They thought that was a big deal. No, that wasn't no big deal. They only lost by 7 points by a score of 14-7. That was the first game. Nobody knows what they got in the first game. You don't know what these teams are going to be till like game 4 or 5. Now we know what teams are going to be. And now we know what Texas is. And that's hot garbage. And we know what Arch Manning is. And that's hot garbage. Hot garbage. Come on, man. Just stop trying to sell Texas to us. Texas don't need to be ranked in this top 25 AP poll. I know the rankings don't matter until playoff time, but Texas will not be a playoff team, and they will not be ranked not 1 week of the playoff rankings. I can tell you that right now. Right now. So Texas, go back to the drawing board, come back and try it again next week. But you got an ass whooping next week too, because you got to play those Oklahoma Sooners. Lord have mercy. Oklahoma Sooners sitting at number 5 right now. Lord have mercy. They had Texas coming into this game yesterday, ranked number 9. How? I don't know, when they have beat absolutely nobody, not one Power 4 program. And next week, they'll be sitting at 3-3 with the only 3 wins against the little people. None of the big boys. So that's Texas program in 2025. All right, moving on. Let's see who else we got. Like I said, we're only going to talk about, important teams. Yeah, the big boys. But anyway, Florida was the big boys yesterday. All right. I think that was a 12 o'clock game, or was that a 3:30 game? I don't know what time that game was. I think that was a 3:30 game. I don't know. But anyway, 3:30, we're going to save my Alabama Crimson Tide for last. All right. You had Mississippi State. No. Penn State and UCLA. As I said last night, Penn State, another off-season, we going to win everything champion. That's what they is. The off-season champion. Penn State and Texas. They sure is. The media always trying to sell us on Penn State year in and year out. And they come out and do the same thing year in and year out, which is nothing. They can win some regular season games, but other than that, that's it. Penn State is a regular, average, run-of-the-mill program, just like their head coach. Matter of fact, I think their head coach is mediocre. Everybody want to give James Franklin the benefit of the doubt. And on yesterday, what happened? They come out and get beat up by a winless UCLA team with Nico Iamaleava. This man didn't throw but 166 yards. But guess what? He also ran for 128 yards. This man was responsible for damn near 300 yards by himself. How do you let the quarterback run for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns to go along with it? Nico was responsible for 5 freaking touchdowns, 2 through the air and 3 on the ground. This man ain't never had a game like that in his whole entire college career. But he did it against Penn State simply because Penn State is frauds. And they always have been. Drew Aller, they quarterback, straight garbage. Well, I ain't going to just say he garbage, but he averaged 2. And the media try to sell us on that guy too. Had him as a Heisman Trophy candidate. One of the best quarterbacks in all of college football in the offseason. A lot of teams and a lot of players win a lot of shit in the offseason. And that's a fact. That is a fact. But anyway, it's a damn shame. UCLA went for 435 yards on their ass. And guess what? I can guarantee you UCLA throughout the whole season haven't piled up that many yards against nobody. They ran for 269 yards altogether. And I can guarantee you that's the most they done ran the whole season. I can guarantee you 10 of 16 on 3rd down. Lord have mercy. They couldn't get UCLA off the field. On 3rd down, UCLA had the ball damn near 40 minutes of the game. Hell, the game ain't for 60 minutes. And they had the ball damn near 40 minutes. That's terrible. That's terrible. James Franklin, he just taking up space. That's all he doing. Taking up a head coaching job that somebody that's qualified need to be in. Sure is. And there's a lot of coaches out there and players that's not qualified to be in the position that they in. James Franklin is one of them. Drew Aller one of them. Freaking Arch Manning is one of them. In positions that they don't need to be in. DEI. And I'm going to keep preaching it. Keep preaching DEI. I sure is. Because those 3 are in positions that they don't need to be in. It's a damn shame. But for Penn State, the way the media be hyping up this program, and for them to come out here and lose to a winless UCLA. UCLA been terrible the whole entire season. But they just managed to look pretty damn decent against Penn State. UCLA out here, they lost to Utah. They lost to UNLV. They lost to New Mexico and Northwestern. All terrible teams. Utah decent, but you lost to UNLV. You lost to New Mexico. You lost to freaking Northwestern. But Penn State, they beat you. Lord have mercy. It is what it is. They scored 42 points on Penn State. UCLA had the lead 27-7 at halftime. Lord have mercy, man. It was a shame. They made I got to give it to Penn State. They made a valiant effort. But guess what? Too little, too late. That's all I'm saying. Too little, too late. You almost came back. But almost don't get you nothing but an L. That's all it gets you. So James Franklin, Drew Aller, and the rest of your Penn State team, football players, sorry, but no cigar. Oh my goodness. It is what it is, man. You got to get the offense off the field. You can't win by letting a team hold the ball for 40 damn minutes. You just can't win. That's the bottom line. But it is what it is. Moving on. Who else we want to talk about? Let's see, as I said. Only the big boys. I talked about Texas and Florida. I talked about UCLA and Penn State. We can talk about old Mississippi State and Texas A&M. Mississippi State got mollywop. They got mollywop. Blake Shapen, po guy, 142 yards and a touchdown. Man, get that guy out of here. Get him out of here. Mississippi State sitting at 4-2 right now. Mississippi State came out against Tennessee and put up a good showing. Had a chance to win the game. You know what I'm saying? So I thought they was going to be a match for Texas A&M. Now it was in the first quarter, but after that, the first half, they did pretty good, man. At the half it was 7-3. It's sad that Mississippi State could only kick 3 field goals. 1 in the first half and 2 in the second half. The last 2 came in the fourth quarter. Game was basically over. Freaking Texas A&M did what they had to do and blew the game wide open freaking in the fourth quarter by scoring 17 points. It was 14-3 going in the fourth quarter. And then Texas A&M ran away with it. Marcel Reed, less than 200 yards pass, 180 yards and 2 touchdowns though. Reuben Owens, freaking Mississippi State defense couldn't stop him. He ran for 142 damn yards. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Man, teams just getting ran through this year seems like to me. That's just what it seemed like to me. 142 yards. Damn near 7 yards per carry for Reuben Owens of Texas A&M. No other player had over 40 yards rushing for Texas A&M. Le'Veon Moss, who went off last week, he only had 36 yards on 11 carries. So that just shows how things change from week to week. Le'Veon Moss stepped up last week. Reuben Owens stepped up this week for Texas A&M. Marcel Reed, he didn't really have to do too much. He went 13-23 for, like I said, 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. Freaking Blake Shapen, 142 yards, a touchdown. He only threw the ball 20 times, 15-20. They leading Russia, had 60 yards. Bothwell. Fluff Bothwell. Is that boy real name, Fluff? I hope not. But it ain't bad. It ain't as bad as Archibald. I'm just saying. Anyway, then you had another running back, Devon Booth, who went for 59 yards. But anyway, Blake Shapen, I guess he was getting sacked all night. He had a negative 36 yards rushing. Man, make that make sense. No receiver had over 54 yards receiving. So, they didn't have a good game. Mississippi State didn't have a good game. I tell you that right now. Let's see. Man, yep, he got sacked 4 times. Same guy. Cassius Howell had 3 sacks for Texas A&M. Yep, 3 sacks. And then Stanford had 1. So Blake Shapen got sacked 4 times. Offensive line, you got to protect your quarterback, man. Got to protect your quarterback. So Mississippi State goes down for the second straight week, I believe. I believe it was the second straight week because they lost to Tennessee in overtime. Yeah, they go down for the second straight week after starting the season 1, 2, 3, 4-0. They started the season 4-0. Now they sitting at 4-2. No. But it's all right. They have yet to have a SEC win. So they got the SEC play. They was beating up on everybody else. And then when they got the SEC play, they can't win. They beat up on Northern Illinois, Alcorn State, Arizona State, and freaking Southern Miss. Matter of fact, they only beat Arizona State by 4 points. They beat Arizona State by 4 points. But and I think Arizona State got a loss already too. Well, Arizona, I'm sure they got a loss. They lost to freaking Mississippi State. What the hell? I think they got another loss, though. Let me see what Arizona State is. Arizona State, what is they? They got how many losses? Let's see. Arizona State, 1 loss to Mississippi State. And they got a loss to Baylor. So, yeah, they got 2 losses also. But anyway, moving on. Now we can talk about Miami Miami and Florida State. I think Florida State, they still living off week 1. That's what I think. That's what I think. Boy, they went out and beat up on the little guys. And now look at them. Look at them. Power 4 conference. They can't win. Except for week 1 against my Alabama Crimson Tide. They went to Virginia. Got that ass beat. And then Miami came to their stadium. Beat that ass. I told y'all. I told you in the offseason. My Alabama Crimson Tide didn't do it like I predicted. But I told y'all Tallahassee, Doak Campbell Stadium was going to be Florida State's burial ground. I told you that. And Miami came in that damn ragged ass stadium and buried y'all ass. Lord have mercy, man. Carson Beck balled out 4 touchdowns through the air. Yeah, Carson Beck was balling out, man. Malachi Tony, 107 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. You had C.J. Daniels with his 2 touchdowns. Boy. I loved every minute of that game. Now, I don't give a damn about neither one of these teams. I don't like either one of them. But guess what? It was so nice to see Florida State go down for the 2nd straight week. As I said, y'all always can use the slogan for the rest of 2025. At least we beat Alabama. You can use that. Because you ain't a playoff team, I can tell you that right now. You got lucky and caught my Alabama Crimson Tide in week 1. If we could play this game again, ain't no way Florida State will win that game. But that's all right. You got your little win. Enjoy it. Because you ain't going to be able to enjoy nothing else. I can tell you that right now. Florida State fans. But anyway, Carson Beck balled out. This man went 20 or 27, 241 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. Matter of fact, Miami, they had less than 100 yards. Well, they got 97 yards rushing. They did it by committee. Shot, man, that damn Thomas Castellanos, man. That guy was under pressure all night. Threw 2 interceptions. But he did throw 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. It was too little, too late. Freaking Miami took their foot off the gas. This man went 25 or 45. That means you had 20 incompletions. Lord, that's terrible. You threw the ball that much, and Thomas Castellanos cannot beat you with his arm. He can't do it. He's not that type of quarterback. And Florida State team is not built to come from behind. They not built like that, man. Hell no. Thomas Castellanos was the leading rusher with 57 yards on 16 carries. That ain't good. Deuce Robinson, 6 catches, 87 yards. The next best wide receiver had 39 yards on 7 catches, but he did have a touchdown. Both guys who had touchdowns for Florida State, 39 yards receiving. And one of them fools in the end zone dancing when they getting their ass blowed out after he scored. 4th quarter, too late. There's nothing to party about. Nothing to party about. Freaking Thomas Castellanos, he got sacked a couple of times. It looked like he got sacked more than what he did because they was on his ass. And I enjoyed that game. I enjoyed laughing at Florida State. And you still got these Florida State fans in the comments saying, well, at least, we beat y'all good. Good. And I thank you for that. I just want you to look at where your team at in the present time and where my team is at in the present time. Yeah, you can live on week 1 all you damn want. I don't give a damn. We just lost to a joke in week 1. That's what we did. And I thought y'all was going to be a good team, actually. You came out and won, your first 3 games? Alabama, East Texas, Kent State. Yeah, you came out and won your first 3 games and lost the last 2. Ain't that something? So, hey, it bees that way sometime. Alabama, the 6th. Okay, You had a bye week in week 1, then you came up. How you gonna put a bye week between freaking East Texas A&M and Kent State? Why would you put a bye week between those two teams? Come on now. You should have played those 2 cupcakes and then got a bye week and come back and play Virginia. But you got so comfortable, you thought you could have a bye week between East Texas A&M and Kent State and think you're going to come back and run through some damn body? No. No. That just gave you an extra week to celebrate beating Alabama. Well, you're still doing that. But anyway, you beat up on East Texas, scoring 77 points on them, scoring 66 points on Kent State. Then you got your ass beat the very next week after you scored 66 points. Man, make that make sense. Then you got your ass beat again. But you always got, at least we beat Alabama. Thank you, Miami. I sure appreciate it. I sure appreciate it. Mario Cristobal, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, Mario Cristobal. Boy, I tell you, you're doing a damn good job over there. And I don't like Mario Cristobal. Y'all know that. I don't like those Miami Hurricanes. Y'all know that. I don't like nothing about the Miami Hurricanes but the fact that they went and beat the hell out of freaking Florida State last night in their home stadium. In the score, 28-22, that don't tell what happened in the game. Miami totally dominated 3 quarters and took their foot off the gas in the 4th. That's what they did. Gus Malzahn couldn't save you. Yeah, Gus Malzahn couldn't save you. How about that, Tommy? Come on, TC. You couldn't save Florida State. On the sideline, looked like he about to cry. What the hell you crying for? You're used to losing. You're used to losing. So, but anyway, it is what it is. Appreciate it, Miami, for shutting up them damn Florida State fans. I appreciate it. In dominant fashion, I might add. All right, moving on. Now we can talk about my Alabama Crimson Tide and those Vanderbilt Commodores. 30-14, the final score. Jam Miller got rolling, went for over 100 yards rushing. As a matter of fact, 136 yards rushing. Ty Simpson, my quarterback, did his thing, even though he threw his first interception of the season. That was Alabama's first turnover of the season. Ty Simpson, 23 of 31, 340-yard passing, 2 touchdowns. Continuing to do his thing, looking like the best quarterback in the country. Putting up numbers, doing big things. Sure is. Sure is. But anyway, keep it pushing. Ryan Williams did his thing, 6 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown. Our leading wide receiver. Diego Pavia, the losing quarterback, 21 of 36, less than 200 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he fumbled the ball. He just giving the ball away. Appreciate it, Diego. You need to humble yourself. Sit your ass down, shut up, and play ball. Cedric Alexander, his shit talking ass too. 4 carries, 76 yards. One of them came on, I believe it was a 66-yard run on their first drive after Ty Simpson threw an interception on our first drive. He broke a big one for 66 yards. The rest of the game, 10 yards. Sure did. Junior Sherrill, tight end, 6 catches, 49 yards. He was described as the best tight end in the country. Well, we shut that shit down. We shut that run game down. I think freaking Vanderbilt ran for 137 yards. 135 yards. They ran for, I think, 113 in the first half. These guys, I think it was 100 and something he ran in the first half. Matter of fact, I'm going to just tell you like this. Alabama's defense held Vanderbilt's offense to only 9 yards rushing in the second half. 9 yards rushing in the second half for an offense like Vanderbilt. All this offense that use a whole lot of motion and eye candy. A whole offense that their offense is based on the run game. 9 yards rushing in the second half with a running quarterback. Something that this Alabama defense has had trouble with going back to last season. I believe Kane Womack done figured it out. Lo and behold, every Alabama fan should be clapping it up for Kane Womack on that defensive scheme he had in the second half. Because guess what? He went in halftime, and for the first time that I seen since he been at Alabama, he made halftime adjustments. And it worked to a T. It worked to a T. 9 yards rushing in the second half? Come on now. Who would have thought Alabama would have did that to this Vanderbilt offense after what they've been doing to everybody that they done played the entire season? Who would have thought that this Alabama defense could hold freaking Vanderbilt to only 14 points? And the least amount of points they scored all year was, I think, 36. Come on, man. Who would have thought Alabama's run game would have more yards than Vanderbilt's run game? Who would have thought that? Come on, man. Alabama got 26 first downs. Once again, they controlled the game, the tempo of the game. They controlled it. Once again, they controlled the clock. Alabama had the ball, 15 more minutes than freaking Vanderbilt. 37 minutes to 22 minutes. Come on, man. Alabama doing their thing. Alabama doing things that Alabama did back in 2012, 13, 14, controlling the clock. And when it get in the fourth quarter, they grinding it out. Did you see what Jam Miller was doing in the fourth quarter? Running the ball, using clock. That's what they doing. But I got to tell you, Ryan Grove, when you doing something and you get to the 25-yard line, don't change it up. It didn't work thus far. We should have had 3 touchdowns on the fucking board. But yet, we got 3 field goals. We was letting them hang around. You can't do that game after game because it'll bite you in the ass. Come on, man. But shout out to Vanderbilt, keeping it close. Went in 14-14 at the half. And guess what? Alabama did it again. Put together another 2-minute drive to take it into overtime. And they scored touchdowns both times. Last week against Georgia, this week against Vandy. Come on, man. And then you still got these haters out here. They was talking shit all week. Vandy finna beat the shit out of y'all. Vandy finna do this and Vandy finna do that. But then when Alabama beat Vandy, then these haters, it's just Vandy. Y'all should beat Vandy. Knowing damn well they freaking team can't compete with Vandy. This ain't the Vandy of 2000, 2001, 2002. This ain't the Vandy of 2015, 16, 17, or 2020, 21, and 22. This is 2025 version of Vandy, and they are a damn good team. That's why they came into the game at 5-0. That's why they got a better record or the same record as a lot of y'all haters team. Just saying. It is what it is. But shout out to Kane Womack for preparing that defense. You know what I'm saying? I be hard on Kane Womack. And I'm going to continue to be hard on Kane Womack when he fucking up. But when he do what he did yesterday, I got to celebrate him. I got to give credit where credit is due. But if he revert back to what he been doing or what we became accustomed to him doing, I'm going to be on his ass. But if he continues to do what he did yesterday, I ain't got no problem with you, Kane Womack. That defense stepped up big time yesterday. And I enjoyed seeing it. I seen a little bit of it against them Georgia Bulldogs. Even though they ran for 227 yards But like I said, or like Kane Womack said, 171 of those yards came on 6 plays. Georgia ran 24 running plays for only 56 yards. 24 running plays for 56 yards. Think about it. And you seen what happened to Vandy on yesterday. That's all I'm saying. Vanderbilt had 6, 8, 11, 14, 17, 18, 19, 21 rushing attempts. 21 rushing attempts for 135 yards. And like I said, held them to only 9 rushing yards in the second half. Ain't that make it make sense? 135 yards, and 66 of those came on 1 play. What's 135 minus 66? Oh, that's 907. 99? Nope, ain't no damn 99. 79? I'm all for that. 135 minus 66. Yep, 69 yards. 69 yards. Yeah, because they broke that 66-yard run on their first possession in the first quarter. The rest of the game, they was held to 69 yards rushing. Sure was. So that's a testament to Kane Womack. So he do have the ability to stop the run. We didn't see that 3-3-5 too much. We didn't see that much yesterday at all. We seen the song, but it wasn't much. He adjusted, and I love it. So, hey, it is what it is. But anyway, that's the day after. I'm happy. My Alabama Crimson Tide got another win over a ranked opponent. Georgia was the 5th best team in the country, or the 5th ranked team in the country when we played them. And now Vandy came in at, I believe, number 16. I believe it was number 16. Yep. So that's 2 ranked teams in a row. And next week, we got another ranked team, and that is number 19, Missouri. And I believe we're going to take them down too. After that, we got another ranked team, number 15, Tennessee. They going to come to Tuscaloosa and get their backs blown out. All right? So y'all better get ready. I know you haters going to hate it. My Alabama Crimson Tide winning week after week after week. Y'all going to hate it. And KB going to keep on running to this damn camera, letting you know about it, and throwing it up in your face. I'm going to make your ass love my Alabama Crimson Tide. Show wheels. But until then, y'all be blessed. And remember, KB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And roll damn Tide.